Alright, here is the video review for Iron Factory's Iron Factory series MUKUROKUMOKI. I'm assuming I'm saying that right, I don't know. But it is their Bonsai-tron repaint of the bludgeon they did in this kind of samurai tank alt mode, which is very cool. I love the colors on this. I like the purple and the green. I like the demon face there on the front. He's got some swords there. The green, purple, black with some reddish orange. Actually, mostly it's just, I guess there's some kind of dark reddish detailing and the red eyes there on the tank mode. But yeah, cool little tank mode. These pieces back here lock in. The front panels just kind of rely on friction. And the friction does hold them pretty well, especially if he's just sitting there. But it is easy to knock these off. You just have some little claws here that you can lift up and grab it. And the claws actually help with his other alt mode, which is the spider tank mode, where you can flip out some legs here on the treads, turn into little spider legs, and then you can crawl around like a spider tank. That's the front legs. Same thing happens on the back. Just gotta get that tread out. The back treads are much tighter than the front treads up here at this hinge. But yeah, so you can have them spider around in a spider tank mode. Crabby, crawl. But yeah. And then his transformation to robot. He does have some extra pieces. Like he's got this, he's got the cannon. He's got two swords versus, I guess he had this two swords as well. But he also has this little double sword holster thing up here, which is kind of neat. We'll show that off in just a second. So to turn him into a robot, we'll go ahead and pull the swords off here from their little slidey holster things. We'll fold the treads back up into, come on, like I said, those are really tight. And then fold these up and fold these up like that. And then we'll go ahead and pop the arms apart here. The forearms tab into the gun. The upper arms tab into the lower piece of this. So he's got kind of a little shotgun weapon, which we've seen before. So we'll open this up. We'll bring his legs down like this. Untap the legs from that little flag piece there. And then we'll bring this back down. And then these little panels come up. Snap that in, and the little panel comes in and fills in the leg there. There you go, just like that. Rotate his foot around to the front, like that. Rotate his leg around at the upper joint to turn them around to the proper front. And then these panels come down, and on these little hinges, and these panels fold forward to kind of make that skirt plate there around his hips. Now there's the lower half done. His upper body is a little weirder. So we got to bring this lower jaw for the tank just kind of folds down here and folds up down onto his back, however you want to store it. And then this piece comes down. We got to spin this whole, actually we got to spin this whole assembly around with the arms. So, so his samurai head comes up here. And the treads fold back. There we go. This comes down. The head folds up. There's a lot of little hingy bitsies in here. That's not right. There we go. So bring the arms up. And over here, up and around like that. And then these panels should rotate around to the back here. Wait, hold on. What am I doing wrong? Oh, okay. There we go. So yeah, this comes around. This rotates at the ball joint here on this hinge. Well, no, that's... There we go. And then comes down over here to... There we go. I just twisted a little too early at one point. And then these fold around and sit up here on the back. Well, the shoulders come back here. Like that. We'll get him to stand here in a second, because this flag plugs in between. You can see there's some little slots here in the treads. Flag plugs in and holds them together on the back. There we go. There we go. Just got to get it all to snap in properly. And this lower jaw is a different lower jaw than he had in the tank mode. But there's Bonsaitron in robot mode. And again, he comes with all the extra hands, including some angled hands. That the angled hand does hold the shotgun a little better. Actually, let me go ahead and swap that out. Either the closed fists or the open hands work best for tank mode, which is why I tend to leave them on. But he does have a set of slightly, you can see that the slot on there is slightly angled with the thumb, and that holds this more straight. If you try to stick it in here, it will kind of angle up because of the angle of the handle. If you use this hand, it holds it more straightforward in relation to the arm. Although, now it doesn't want to hold it at all. So, but anyway, you get the idea. He should hold that better, but whatever. That is a soft hand. You could probably heat that up and tighten that grip a little bit if you wanted to. But you can hold it with this regular fist. But like I said, with the angle of that handle, it wants to kind of tilt away from the arm a little bit. I got a weird angle. But he can hold it. Like I said, I like to leave those hands on. I'm not going to swap out every single hand just because. But then take these little scabbards off. And these can stay, you can plug these into the sides here on over his shoulders. Like this. Or you can plug him in back here so he can wear his swords kind of crossed across his back. I like to keep them back here just because they get a little bit more out of the way, but it's entirely up to you. I mean, you actually kind of want them more vertical, I guess, because they're not offset to allow for the blades to cross really. But you can store swords here in his back, or you can have him hold them individually. But the thing he includes that did not come with the previous version is that he comes with this little thingy that lets you put the swords in here together. And then he can hold this piece as a whole, like that. So he can hold both the swords together as some sort of double-bladed weapon, kind of a Darth Maul-looking lightsaber. And now I realize I have no idea how far down that camera was. I'm going to check that real quick. So not horrible. You didn't see some of the top part of his head, but we haven't shown off his whole robot mode anyway. I was focusing on the weapons, so could have been worse. Let's lock this up. But yeah, here he is. He's kind of got that reddish-orange face, the green and purple. He's got all the same ball joints. He's got the ball joint at the head, at the shoulders. He's got a bicep swivel, a hinge at the elbow, and then a ball joint just below that for the forearm that lets it fold up for tank mode, as well as a hinge right here that also does that for tank mode. Even with the gun hinged in, it can hinge right there at that gauntlet. The ball joint at the wrist to swap it off. He does have the waist swivel. He's got ball joints at the hips. Thigh swivel, dual hinge knee. Actually, it's a single hinge knee. And then a ball joint and a hinge there at the ankle. But yeah, I personally, I love the original version. I think that's a really nice rendition. But I really like the colors on this guy. I wish they had a little bit more orangey red in him. But, actually this looks like this should collapse further down. Let me see if I can make that happen. There we go. Yep, it can. Just had a ball joint out of whack there. So yeah, two different versions. They both look cool. This is one where I think either one that you choose is going to be a good call because they both look really great. I just prefer the Bonsaitron Deco a little better. I think, and also, I don't know why, but for some reason I think having this extra piece that plugs into the top of the tank just makes it look a little bit more solid. And it is a little bit more solid because it's another piece that is two pieces are connecting to. So there's that. You also notice that these shoulder blades are a little different. It's not entirely one-to-one on these. Most of this is the same figure. He does have different shoulder guards. And maybe that's part of it too that makes me just, for some reason, I just like his tank mode a lot better. But in robot mode here, I think they're both pretty great. But there is Iron Factory's Iron Samurai. Oh, let me find this name again. MUKUROKUMOKI. 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 There we go. Separate into 3 parts. 3, 4 little parts. 12 letters long. But yeah, he's really cool. I dig him.